Morning, boys. Here we are on the mean streets of Cambridge, Massachusetts. The beginning of a very, very long trip. A long trip indeed. It actually started in January when I decided to enter the Alligator Enduro and upgrade the suspension on the Beta 390. After the great work that Aaron Halad and AMP did on the suspension for the cross trainer, I went back to them for the 390. Great decision. I was highly motivated. My training plan was going very well, and then I got a new job. First order of business for the new job was to take a trip out to San Francisco and meet the new team. It was a good trip. I didn't realize that in San Francisco they sell marital infidelity in a vending machine in the hotel lobby. After a week out west, I packed up, headed home, and then as soon as I got home, I packed up to leave home. Got the 390 all buttoned up and started heading south to Florida. It's been a while since I took a bona fide road trip, and I had forgotten how much there is to miss about it. I realized that on the open road, it's really easy to be disciplined about your diet and your training, but I drew strength from the fact that I was not alone. There were other people headed south to ride bikes in Daytona. A lot of street bikes. I did not see any dirt bikes. Maybe that was a clue. So about 20 hours of podcasts later, I was finally on the access road to the Alligator Enduro on this beautiful farm just north of Daytona Beach. When you get to the paddock, it's a great setup, tons of people. The trails that they have for this race really are fantastic. And by coincidence, I parked right next to the president of my riding club in New Hampshire. Got settled in, time to check the weather report for race day. Yeah, just like a nice steady soaking heavy rain. I think it's going to work out really well. The forecast was pretty grim even on the drive down. I knew it wasn't going to be good. I thought it would get better, but it just kept getting worse. And of course, you know the drill. Most flood deaths occur in vehicles. Guys, my goal for this race was just to maintain a positive mental attitude regardless of where I finished. That was a serious challenge. The rain actually stopped right about key time, which gave me some cause for optimism.
Yeah, it's just the wrap.
Yeah, if the wrap burns off, I don't really care, right? That is my buddy Chuck, who I know back from Florida road racing days. He has won more races than you can count, and he's a fantastic guy. Also a good guy to have in the pits.
Helmet's on. Don't do a Simicelli, right?
Helmet was properly fitted, and I was off to the start. Section A was absolutely brutal. Unfortunately, the GoPro battery died on me, so all I have is a couple of stills. You can see the expression on my face. This is at the end of Section A. I seriously thought about putting it on the trailer and just going home. The first section took an hour for me to complete, and looking at my heart rate, I was consistently well into the 170s, which for me is, I believe that's the doorstep of death. I carried on though, and what a great reward. Sections B and C, phenomenal. Just finished Section B. GoPro battery was out. Easily my best riding of the day, which I would love to show you guys. I was fairly ripping. Like actually legit, no bullshit. And it jacked up really nicely for about 85% of the route. Nice and fast, straight sections too, which were great. Next break, vicious calf cramp, which I'm sure will be back, but I was so relieved after Section B. The trail was a lot better, my riding was a lot better, and I was looking forward to Section C. It was the last section of the day. They shortened the race because of the conditions, and I was hoping that this last section would be like Section B and not like Section A. So that first few hundred yards is like the best conditions, and then as I take the right here, this is what most of Section A was like, although an hour earlier with the rain, and if you look at how high the mud splashed on the trees, it was bad. The bike, in contrast, was phenomenal. Bike is really good, guys. I was really happy with the AMP suspension, and I know from experience that this 390 is fantastic in the mud. Coming up here on the left, this is a guy who I saw a couple times during the day. I was like, yeah, buddy, come on, we can do it. Let's go. Beep, beep. I was kind of getting my second wind, or I don't know, maybe it was my third wind at this point in the race, and although it was still pretty challenging for me, the conditions were a lot better, and I was just riding harder, really enjoying it. Okay, I'm riding off the trail. It looks like I have no idea what I'm doing, but that, I believe, is one of the preferred methods to get around this deep mud. Zigzag across the ruts, and when necessary, dive off into the palmettos. Head up, head up. Yeah, I was definitely trying to catch that guy, and the trail here goes from this more open stuff back into the woods, where I'm guessing it's going to be wetter. And yeah, yes, this is what Section A was like, but an hour and a half earlier, dealing with all that rain. So it was way soupier than this, and man, it just sucked us in. This is actually good compared to that. And what's that? Is that some exhaust smoke up there? What is that? I was very happy to have caught that guy, and pretty surprised too, so things were really looking up from the morning.
Now the race is on, and here comes pride in the backstretch. Heartaches going to the inside. My tears are holding back there, trying not to fall. My heart's down to the running, to love scratch for another sake. The race is on, and it looks like heartaches, and the winner loses all.
So this back and forth was absolutely a highlight of the race for me. You can see the trail now is like perfect. It's mint, and I've got, well, maybe not this part, but I've got a lot of confidence in the front end. I'm cracking open the throttle, and I'm really trying hard to catch this guy. One of the things that I think it's worth pointing out, the heart rate again, this is, now I'm into the second hour, and this is a max effort for me. Really hard work. So a lot of the things in my mind I wanted to do, my body, I couldn't really do. So riding a little conservatively and a little aggressively all at the same time. I didn't have the GoPro running in Section A, but just imagine 6 miles of something kind of like this. But at this point, I'm kind of used to it. I got my head around it, and I know just open the gas, keep your weight kind of back and let that front end squirm. Fifth gear, so there were some pretty fast sections. If you look way up the trail, you could just see that guy disappearing back into the woods. So like he's there, but he's not really there. That's still like 25 seconds away. Watching this back, it occurs to me that I could have just used this footage and told you that this was Section A, because that's pretty much what it looked like.
Slightly like East Freetown, up on top. Minus the 4,000 rocks.
I didn't realize it at the time, but I can see here that this actually is a pretty gentle uphill, but it is uphill, and this like 5 feet of elevation, you can see it makes all the difference in the trail. It's totally dry.
Yeah, this trail just hit up that water. Awesome. Pretty tacky right now. Trying to do so, you should have come. You would have killed it.
Please pay attention while racing. That's good advice. All right, so I am paying attention to this guy up here. I'm pretty sure I can catch him, and I'm feeling like racing, you know. And then as I get closer, I'm like, wait a minute, that's Levesque. That's the guy I parked next to. It was totally cool to see him on the course, and we recognize each other even better. So when I saw Levesque, I was even more fired up. I wanted to like pull him through the woods, give him a good show, put on a good pace. So I really charged and was just totally in the flow state. It was the best part of the race by far. So pretty obvious to me anyway that I was pushing hard, and I got into some of this stuff which earlier in the day had given me a lot more trouble than it's given me now. Just like open the gas, just go. Just like that, we have 1 mile to go, and I am flying high.
Thinking about my dad. Backpack. Pretty proud. Fucking right.
Then guys, just like that, the end of section C. I kind of want to do another one. Kind of. Not really. A little bit.
Here you go, buddy. Fun?
Oh yeah. Is that it?
That's it, unless you're going back out for a lap too.
I'll think about it.
How's it holding up?
The first section was brutal. The second two were perfect. A couple bad spots.
Well, they're rerouting some of that first section.
Yeah, they're rerouting it.
It was bad.
Yeah, I'd say if you finish today, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, we walked it earlier and it's beautiful. We can't wait to ride it.
It's really nice.
This is
Yeah,
good dirt.
this track here.
And I started to figure out, like you were saying, like, oh, there's a high side and like that's going to be a little firmer and that's going to be a little softer.
Yeah, you could see the slow grade through here.
Yeah, I didn't realize how heavy this bike was. It's pretty heavy.
Well, it's probably another 8 pound heavier now.
I saw the
They're on top of everything. Guys like me were fucking pounding everything.
That's right, bud. Nice job, man. I had to drop the hammer after I saw you. Then I was like, well, now I need to pay attention.
Fuck no. The first section was stupid. Not these guys' fault.
Right.
It was just what it was, right? And I knew enough to try to stay out of the holes. But I got into one, and there was enough junk it bound up my chain.
Exactly. Same.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
So
And that was in like the first quarter mile.
yeah. So I pulled over, took my helmet off. You know, everything's a challenge. You did the first section. You got through. You beat the challenge. Right? You can stay home and sit on the couch. What are you going to talk about? You have
Exactly.
fucking memories here.
Levesque is right. We made some good memories out there today, and the Beta 390 was so good in the mud. Unbelievable. The new suspension right out of the box is a major, major improvement. I've never ridden whoops like that before. Had great front end feel. You can see the expression on my face. A lot different at the end of the race than after section A. A quick look at the heart rate again. You can see the middle and the right hand plateaus just above 160. That's really my sweet spot. I was so comfortable on those trails. Really enjoyed it. My buddy Chuck helped me get all packed up. The rain started again, of course, and that little farm road on the way in looked a lot different on the way out. It was a bit of an adventure. Ended up finishing 11th on the day, I think, mid-pack anyway. I was actually pleasantly surprised with that. It wasn't last, and I actually did keep a really good mental attitude throughout the race, which was quite a challenge. That was not the end of my pilgrimage, though. I still had to make one more very important stop, Daytona International Speedway. This is a very important place in my family.
My name is Giovanni Giorgio, but everybody calls me Giorgio.
Daytona International Speedway is sacred ground for me, and there are a million reasons why that's true. It was good to see some of the big guns. That's Paolo Ciabatti, director of Ducati Motorsports, and the guy in the circle is Araldo Faraci, probably the greatest Ducati mechanic of all time. The racing at the Speedway was really good this year. A couple of cool bikes in the infield, and of course, you gotta go see the beach. But then it's time to pack up and head home. I'm in my truck. It's dark out. I have a dirt bike in the back. That would usually mean I'm going for a ride with Rich. Not today. Still making my way home. It was a long trip home, guys, but already, is it too early? I'm already looking forward to my next Alligator Enduro. The bike was unbelievable. The suspension, I have more to say about that, is very good. But for now, guys, thanks for watching. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon.
You want to stop recording?
No, this is the best part, dude. Well, people don't know who Chuck is. They do now. My bike does smell like it's melting. I don't know what that's about.
You got